It's a big green button, right? Is it the big green button? Oh.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I think I'll start from right where I am now. I have no disclosures to make. And in this talk, we will go through discussing the burden that our operating theaters pose to our environment, which has already been highlighted by other speakers. And maybe we may contribute in our individual ways in the waste management. And then, importantly, how can we develop sustainable solutions to provide energy and water supply, which is much needed for operating theaters, and maybe also a bit of financing solutions for sustainable surgeries. I will skip this slide. It summarizes how us in our own activities contribute to global warming by increasing the amount of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. So the operating rooms are clearly a significant source of pollution to our environment. And this picture on the right, I believe, is a familiar situation in many of our hospitals. We have tons of disposable materials coming out of each of the cases we do on a daily, and then anesthetic gases also escape to the atmosphere and they contribute to the same. I think an anesthesiologist made a publication recently on this topic. Are there areas where we may consider reducing on how much disposable items we bring out of our operating rooms in a way that does not negatively impact the safety and quality of the services we offer to our patients? For example, in the Chabira Surgical Center, Anne has already left. I am living in her future. That's what she hopes for. Yeah, so we definitely have, we use reusable headgears, gowns, and patient drapes. All of them, we use reusable ones. And maybe if we do that, it may actually change the picture a little. What comes out of the operating rooms may be a bit of reduced amounts of waste. I hope we may make this the norm in the near future in all our operating theaters. Yeah, so again, the operating theaters definitely need a reliable source of electricity. All the gadgets we use to provide surgeries, the list is long, may not run without a reliable source of electricity. And we could actually say we are not able to provide safe surgeries if we don't have good electricity supply. Yeah, you agree. So I will share a little bit of statistics. In my country, Uganda, unfortunately, less than 30% of the population are connected to the national electricity grid. And even when about 30% are connected, only 15% of those who are connected actually have reliable supply. Majority of the people have power only occasionally, maybe less than a half of the time. Yeah, and this situation is not unique to Uganda. A number of African countries admit long hours of power outages, as has also been highlighted by the previous speakers. Yeah. So if you're located in a remote area in a rural setting like the Chabira Surgical Center, how do you then manage to provide safe surgery to the community? So I share with you the story of our center. The Chabira Surgical Center was built in collaboration with partners in the Mount Sinai Health System in 2020. That's when we started working. And of course, the two biggest problems or bottlenecks to overcome before you can provide safe surgeries to the community was electricity and water supply. So we had to put our efforts most first to ensuring that these two bottlenecks are overcome. In the initial design of the hospital, we provided for harvesting solar power as you can see in this image. And currently we run 100% on solar energy, which, so you will ask why, what is unique about it? I mean, solar energy, you've just gotten the solution, but I'll come to that in a minute. Also, in addition, we created a mobile application so that right from the mobile phone, you're able to monitor by the hour the pattern of power production, like how much power you actually harvest from the solar energy every hour. And also that is the yellow bars in the graph. But also we match this against power utilization, how much do we actually consume by the hour. This helps us, for example, we now know that our peak hour of harvesting solar is between 9 a.m. and about 2 p.m. So that means we can identify heavy consumers of power in the hospital and make sure that we use them around this time. The solar power has adequately run all our diagnostic services, the X-ray, which is a heavy consumer, all the laboratory equipment safely run on the solar power. And our prestigious laparoscopy and endoscopy services all safely run on the solar power. The second big bottleneck is how to get safe water. Definitely in rural settings, we don't have the national water supply. So we again took advantage of the heavy rains that we receive almost the whole year round. So we harvest the rainwater, store them in underground water tanks. And then from these tanks, we pump them to, using our solar energy, of course, we pump them to a purification unit and then off to the rooftop base tanks on the left there, from where it is distributed to the rest of the hospital. Having solved these two major bottlenecks, moreover in a sustainable way, green way, I would say, the center has been able to perform close to 5,000 surgeries since 2020. The range of surgeries is what you can see: colon surgeries, breast surgeries, thyroid, and the list is long, including laparoscopic and endoscopic procedures. Yeah, the image on the left in the background, that river is the Nile River. For those of you who may have heard about the Nile River, that's where the center is located. So what could bring global surgery and climate change together? I think that's the question we should be answering. What if in our efforts to provide safe surgeries to the 5 billion unreached people worldwide, if we could focus on innovating solutions that actually help us to provide safe surgeries, but at the same time tackle the problem of climate change. I think that would be a great place for global surgery and climate change to meet. And that is what we have tried to do at the Chabira Surgical Center. I'll introduce to you the concept of the renewable energy certificates. So the 2015 Climate Agreement of Paris led to establishing the RECs, the renewable energy certificates. These are actually credits that awarded to any entities, organizations that focus on producing energy from renewable sources, maybe solar, wind, biomass, and all those. So every effort in this direction is awarded credits. So 1 megawatt hour of electricity that you produce from renewable source, you attract a credit that you are awarded. So an entity like the Chabira Surgical Center actually accumulates these credits, and these credits are tradable. You can sell them in the open market. So that means your utilization of renewable sources of energy does not only save the climate, but actually attracts, has monetary value. You get money out of it, actually. But in addition, the same Paris Agreement also established limits especially for large companies known as large emitters. They were given thresholds. You cannot emit beyond this limit. So if for any reason an entity like emitter A has exceeded the limit that they were given, they pay a fine. They are charged a fine, actually, that they pay. The good thing is that this fine does not just sit there. The fine is used to buy credits that entities like the Chabira Center has accumulated. In this way, in your own effort, you're using environmental friendly ways of meeting the needs of the surgical needs of your community, but also gaining money out of it. In that way, you can expand your activities. The money we get out of this, actually, we use it to provide surgeries for more people in the community. I will try to skip this slide. It's still work in progress. We are trying to look for a formula that maybe will attach monetary value to every impact we have made in the community. The impact that one surgery makes on a person, what's the monetary value? So that maybe if there is a factor that can be used, then it will help to provide services to more people. My last slide. So this is a beautiful sunset for sure, but it's not just the beautiful sunset. In it lies energy that, if used correctly, will help us to provide safe surgeries to the community, but in an environmentally friendly way. And if we are to meet the needs of the 5 billion unreached people in the world with surgical services, I think we should try to replicate models like this, environmental friendly, yet actually meeting the surgical needs of the community. Thank you.